So yesterday's candle does look a little bit bearish, doesn't it? So it's pretty much a massive engulfing bar across 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So it's engulfed the previous 6 days of ranging sideways motion. We have, looks like we've come down to close that gap. Just put a level in here. Now, I suppose we were to close it on the lower time frames, the higher time frames, we still got it open. At the moment, futures markets are pretty much down. I think the DAX futures is down 0.46%, 12,056. Slightly just around this area, 12,070. So just below this this level that we've drawn in at the moment. Looking at the chart off the cuffs here, we've been in a pretty strong uptrend. We're now going sideways, and if you actually just killed price and you just looked at the moving average, you would see strong trend. Now we're pretty much going sideways. We're going sideways with all the confusion at the moment, and I think still treating this as a range. If we come back to the daily, that trend is up. It's a pretty strong trend. Yes, it does look like we have a lower high set in, but we don't have a lower low set in. And we need to see a lower low before we can commit to a trend change. If we look at it on the 3 hour, we could argue that that is the start of a lower low. There was a previous lows there. We've put in a lower low. But then again, if you look at the last fractals, that's a higher, sort of a higher high there. Okay. So this is still consolidation as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you could draw another line here like that, and you could draw another line like that, and that gives you a megaphone formation. Megaphones can break either way, okay? They can break either way, but they're notorious for just staying in this structure for quite some time. In other words, in back to the upside here, and then back the downside here, and then back the upside here, and back the downside. So that's pretty much one of the scenarios, and the other scenario is a break back down to the downside and forming a much bigger range, and that would be somewhere in this area here. I think this is the Dow and the Dow Jones and the DAX, to me, are the two confusing ones right now, and I don't really see anything that excites me on the DAX at the moment. The more I'm looking at this, the more I'm saying stay away from it. It's been sideways for quite some time. We had a range break. That was a range break to the upside. But now, if I just want to use this level here, there's my range break to the downside. So we had a break to the upside, and we had a break to the downside. Yeah, it basically means that range break, it's no longer a range break, if that makes any sense. So it was a range, it was a break, and there was nothing wrong with looking for your longs here, but clearly the bears had another plan of action, and they drove us down for range break to the downside. Am I going to chase the range break to the downside based on what happened with the range break to the upside? Hell no. I'll just leave these guys to fight it out, and I will drill down to lower time frames and basically follow whatever they're doing. So at this stage, it does look like a level break and retest here. So what we want to do is we want to see fractal breaks. So your fractal break right now, so just move that there, is this area here, 12,064, break the downside, and then you need to look for the next level support. Your challenge is the next level support. I mean, it is so close. If you put your levels in like that, even if I come back and take it off the hour, there's a lot of congestion here. So yeah, so I think my advice at the moment is stay away from this. And it's probably going to be the same advice tomorrow, to be honest. I think until we get some kind of a catalyst that's going to drive it. We do have data coming out later today, which may be a catalyst. Somehow doubt it though. And then we also have We've also got a lot of vaccines that are being trialed at the moment all over the country, and I think the market's in limbo waiting. There's a whole lot of new infections that have come up. There's fear of that. There's recession fears. There's the hell of a lot of fundamentals which just don't add up. And then we've got the central banks and the Feds just pushing markets and propping the markets up by pumping money into them. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's all that everybody cares about right now is the fact that the Feds are propping the market up and they've got everybody's backs and they're not going to let it crash. So, based on that, I'm a bit reluctant to look at long-term shorts. Shorts are going to be scalps rather than a decent medium or daily view. So, in other words, yesterday was probably a day where you could have got shorts all day. Nice strong move down, pull back, strong move again. But if you look at the previous days, it's been all over the place. Okay, so my advice to you at the moment, if you are going to trade the DAX, I'm not trading the DAX today. But if you are going to trade this, get your levels drawn in, get down to a lower time frame. You can use a 5, 15, whatever. I wouldn't go as low as a 3 or 1. And look what happens at different levels. So you get pullbacks onto levels and you start rejecting a level like it's rejecting a level here. Let me just put this in properly. You can see there's my level there. And then what I'd be doing is always look for 2 levels. So you can see there's the first one, there's the second one. Look for 2 levels and then worry about where price is coming to. And one of the ways that I'm always find pretty successful when you're scalping is to have levels drawn on the 15 or on the hour. Okay, you see same levels play out, and then come down to the 5 and watch what price does if we get back this level. There it is there. There's a rejection bar. You can wait for the second one if you want, or take a first one. That's short, stop above these levels. And it's at the close. It wouldn't have really worked out, but you get the picture. I mean, that's pretty much what we want to do. If we do the same here, comes the 15-minute. There's our fractals there. So that's the breakout. Come back down to the 5. And you can see, haven't quite got it there, down, got it there. Short, stop above it. And you can see there's a second attempt at it, which is a lower low. You could add to the position at that point, and then you would have got this trade. Okay, but anyway, you just need to sit and watch it, and same logic applies as whether you're trading on the hour or the 5 minute, same logic applies. And that's what you want to be doing. Okay, so anyway, for me, I'm sitting on the sidelines with this. I'm not interested in jumping into this or the Dow Jones. The S&P does have a little bit of structure to it, but I think that's pretty much of all. Everything I've looked at this morning, that's probably the only thing that I may pay attention to today. Other than that, it's looking like a day of research rather than a day of trading. Anyway, hope that helps, and we'll catch you later. Cheers for now.